Joining us now, Adrienne Elrod, Senior Advisor and Senior Spokesperson for the Harris-Walz campaign. Good to see you. Let me pick up where Kelly just left off, because we do know the campaign has expressed disappointment in the rules, specifically about muted mics, no audience. They think it will benefit Trump. So how is the vice president adjusting? What's the strategy for what could arguably be, if not the most important moment of this campaign, one of the top important moments?
Well, Chris, she's taking it very seriously. You just had Kelly O reporting live outside of the debate site where she's prepping in Pittsburgh, really focusing on the prep and making sure that she is prepared as possible to take her message directly to the American people. She knows millions of people are going to be watching. She understands this is a real moment in this debate, in this campaign, to really have a discussion with the American people about the fact that she's going to be fighting for middle-class families. She's going to be focusing on lowering costs. She wants to take our country forward, not backward, and she wants to really draw that contrast with Donald Trump. She knows that this is a major moment on the campaign to do that. She wants to draw the contrast on Trump's embracing of Project 2025, which would set us backward, which would give him more power than a president should ever have. That feels very unthinkable. So she wants to make sure the American people understand that. They understand what's at stake. And again, she's taking this very, very seriously, which is why she's, spending a lot of time with some of her senior aides. No strategic adjustment,
Adrienne, given the fact that there will be muted mics, given that there will be no audience for Trump?
Yeah, I mean, Chris, I'm not involved in the debate prep myself. I'm here in Wilmington focused on getting our surrogates out on the campaign trail. And we just have been meeting with some of our senior aides here. So my focus is here. She's got a whole team of people who are focusing on that.
Yeah, let me ask you about that. The campaign is coming off the biggest month of grassroots fundraising for a presidential campaign.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Ever. $361 million in August. But I'm reminded that Hillary Clinton outspent Donald Trump by about 2-1 in 2016 and still lost. So tell me about the money strategy. How does the campaign use these resources in a way you think will translate into success at the ballot box?
Well, Chris, I'm glad you mentioned our fundraising because this is historic. We did raise a lot of money, 3 times more that Trump raised in August. So that's very important to focus on. But look, I mean, first of all, the grassroots momentum and excitement you're seeing among volunteers on the campaign trail is translating $2 for us. 95% of donations that came in at this $361 million were under $200. So that, again, demonstrates the fact that the excitement you're seeing at these campaign rallies, you know, the high turnout that you're seeing in places like Savannah, Georgia, we just had 9,000 people turn out. Detroit, where we recently had 15,000 people. She's drawing large crowds of very excited people, both Democrats, Republicans, and independents, because people are excited, and that is translating into volunteer shifts. It's translating to small grassroots dollar donations. We're seeing that across the board. We also have, of course, this historic weekend of action coming up where over 200,000 people are volunteering. We have a number of people knocking on doors, calling undecided voters, doing all the things that you do traditionally, Chris, at this stage of the campaign, which is making sure that we are reaching our swing voter universe, that we are having those conversations with undecided voters, that we're making sure our voters who are supporting us don't stay home and sit on the couch, that, like the vice president often says, and they're actually getting up. They understand what's at stake in this election. They understand how close it's going to be, and they're going to turn out and vote. So we are focused on, churning a very high-level, high-stakes volunteer operation, using the momentum that we have coming, throughout the campaign to get volunteers out there and to really make sure that people understand what's at stake.
Of course, they have to be organized. And the last numbers I saw, update me if you have something fresher, but that you guys have 312 campaign offices, 2,000 staff members in battleground states. With all that money, are you having conversations about expanding the number of states that you're in and the number of people who are on staff?
Yeah, I mean, Chris, we're certainly taking every single state seriously. But of course, our core battleground states are the ones where we have the most energy and excitement and the most, the most expansive operation. And Chris, it's important to keep in mind, we have been making these infrastructure investments in battleground states for a long time. Of course, President Joe Biden was the nominee. This campaign effectively turned into a campaign for the vice president. So we've been laying the groundwork, unlike Donald Trump, who has sort of said, oh, I'm going to run a digital ground game, and I'm not really doing the traditional things that you do in a very high stakes, very close election. So we believe that these investments that we're making in the states, the volunteer operation that is historic, the fact that we do have thousands, 2,000 as you mentioned, and that number is growing every single day, of paid staff in these states. We believe that those investments are going to make a big difference in an election that's going to be very, very close.
And you also mentioned that you're very involved in surrogate operations, getting a lot of folks out there. So let me ask you a very pointed, or maybe a double pointed question. Feel free to answer yes or no. Have there been conversations about getting out on behalf of Vice President Harris, Liz Cheney or Taylor Swift?
Well, Chris, again, it's not my job here to disclose private conversations. What I will tell you is we were very excited to see Liz Cheney, is a very important voice among conservatives and a lot of moderate swing voters, come out and say that she's supporting Vice President Harris. As for some of the other big names out there, you'll just have to wait and see.
So not a denial on either front. Adrienne Elrod, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.